Before getting into this review, I would just like to mention that no, SSA6 Devastator is not worse than this figure I have made, and the whole set of Constructicons that I have made is not better than SSA6, okay? Listen, me trashing on SSA6 Devastator is really just a bit at this point. I don't actually hate the figure. It's actually a decent looking Devastator and way better than Combiner Wars, but I still have hatred for it just because I wish it was better. I wish it was different than Combiner Wars. I wish it wasn't just the same designer basically redoing it. I wish it was just all different, but no, they had to go and ruin it. So yes, I don't like SSA6 Devastator, and yes, I made this a custom set in spite of SSA6 Devastator, but you have your Devastator that costs you $200, and I have my Devastator that cost me $35, so who's winning now, huh? But no, anything I say in this video is probably just a joke. Please don't take me seriously. This is obviously not better than SSA6, okay? So yeah, take your comments somewhere else. Hey guys, Maxmc55 here, and today we are reviewing my custom long haul, the only Constructicon I can really review right now. The real reason I can only review this guy is just because he doesn't actually combine with my Devastator, just due to the mold I chose, and he's the only one that's like finished, I guess. Originally, the Constructicons were all finished, but I decided to take a more war within approach with them, so most of them are just unpainted, and some of them still have new parts to superglue onto them, so Long Haul here is the only one that's really finished, and I don't really feel like taking Bone Crusher and Scavenger off right now because they are still arms, and I want to continue keeping them as arms. So this green slab of meat... Wait, what? So this big boy is made out of Legacy Bulkhead. I don't really like this mold, but hey, it works out for a long haul-esque kind of guy. Now, originally, I was just gonna keep the chest the same, but I thought, man, why not just use the parts I have at my disposal? And I did use the knockoff version of long haul, because mine broke, and I used the front and the back side of him. Oh, and the head, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, I just slapped the front part on him, and I think it looks fine. I mean, at least it looks less like Bulkhead now. But what I'm really happy with is the back panel. I'm super happy how flush this sits on both alt mode and robot mode, and it can even store all the cool weapons I got from medics. I just give these weapons to the Constructicons, so Long Haul is usually the one who's carrying them on his back, just because why not. Now, I will say this is definitely my least favorite member I have made out of my custom Constructicons, because he's literally just Bulkhead, but with added parts onto him. At least the other ones I kind of like modified a little bit more, and we'll get into the transformation soon, but that transformation, it ruined it. It really did ruin it. But yes, the head here is just from the KO version of Long Haul, and it's just glued onto the flap for transformation into alt mode, which, as you probably know, that's, yeah, the alt mode will now be having a hole in the back, so, you know, that's cool, I guess. God, I hate this custom. Although I am quite happy with how the windows came out. Obviously, I painted these windows when the thing was glued on, so, you know, not really the best way to paint the windows, but hey, I'm quite happy with how they turned out. I'm not really the best at painting windows, but, you know, that's pretty cool. Also, I added this little red detail on the legs. You can barely see it, but it's there. I would have liked to have added more color to the legs. I know Long Haul isn't the most colorful bot of the bunch, but yeah, I definitely feel like I should paint those thighs in like a chrome silver or gunmetal, because he feels naked. Although I am quite happy with how the arms came out. Due to Long Haul's sort of design, he has like black arms, but then most of his toys don't, because the arms have to do something in like rubber mode or alt mode. But here, the arms hide inside the alt mode, so I got to make them black, which I'm quite happy with. I would definitely like to add treads onto him instead of wheels in the future, just to give him that more Cybertronian-esque design that I'm sort of going with the other Constructicons. But I don't know, having 6 wheels in an alt mode kind of, you know, feels appropriate. But yeah, I had this idea for a very long time on how to make like custom Constructicons from different molds that already pre-existed. This was, like, I had ideas before SSA6 Constructicons even got announced, okay? So I had this in the back burner for a very long time, and then when I saw SSA6, I was like, screw it, I'll just make them, and I did. And Bulkhead was sort of the first design I sort of thought of, because he's sort of bulky, and you know, Long Haul is sort of fat and bulky, so it just sort of worked out. Also, he has an alt mode chest, which Long Haul also has, so again, it worked out for the physique. For accessories, I gave him this giant red blaster that came with medics, and then he also comes with this blue one, and this other blue one, and this other red one, and this other red one. Yeah, I don't really give him like an actual accessory, but he comes with guns. He has a lot of guns. Guns, guns, guns. For the paints I used lime green, purple, black, red, and gunmetal. Comparison time. Here he is with GENO, Super Megatron, Optimus Prime, Shockwave, Shattered Glass Optimus, and Bumblebee. So I think I mentioned how I don't really like the Legacy Bulkhead mold in my custom Bulkhead video, but just gonna like sort of expand on that more here. It's an okay mold. It's definitely not animated and it's definitely not prime, so I don't really know what they were going for here because this looks nothing like those designs, and I don't know if they just had in mind what they wanted to make with like Heatwave and Breakdown, but they definitely need to have a new go around with Bulkhead because no one's getting Bulkhead right. Legacy didn't get it right. Skybound hasn't got him right. Like, although I do like the Skybound design as it is, it's just not Bulkhead, and I really want a good Bulkhead. He needs to be fat, and he needs to have a good face, and a Legacy Bulkhead does not have a good face, in my opinion. Transformation is fine, though. I'm quite fond of it. You have to get used to it more, but yeah. And then alt mode is actually okay. I quite like this for Bulkhead. I think it sort of fits him, but it's just a bot mode. It just doesn't work as Bulkhead, which is probably why Breakdown works better for this mold than Bulkhead. Even Heatwave looks better. Okay, so transformation for long haul is pretty much where this custom goes downhill, because due to the head, it doesn't look that good, and also the new parts just make it look ugly. But anyways, so mostly he is pretty much the same as Bulkhead, especially in the back part. It is mostly the chest, everything changes. So yeah, flip out these little gas canisters if you can get them out. So they're unpainted because I didn't, what's the point? They're already grey, and I was already going to paint them grey. So, taking these out, flipping them around, put it in the back, or like this, if I can remember how to transform this guy, because I'm not a fan of this transformation, personally. It's kind of clunky, and it just, things get in the way, and yeah, it's not the best, but hey, probably should have transformed this guy before filming, but whatever. And let's flip this back over, and okay, so we're at the chest, so we're gonna have to be careful I don't break anything, so gonna have to rotate these down, fold these, try and clip them into place. Okay, so basically you got the arms just exactly how Bulkhead does them. Fold them in, and we're almost there, I believe. Just need to rotate this down somehow. Doesn't this like come apart or something? Okay. Alright, we're nearing completion, I hope. Just pop this all in here. There you go, snappity snap. Then fold the head like sort of down-ish, kinda. Not really. Lord. Okay, so yeah, I do push the head in and it hides itself there. I am so stupid. And then the arms do its thing with backing in to here, even though this black paint can scratch off really easily and it's not fun. But yeah, something like this, hopefully, please. Okay, anyways, so we do all this, push everything. Please what? Screw it. There you go. Ugh. And then in alt mode, yeah, listen, I'm happy about the backside because it sort of fits in and it's a dump truck, cool. And then the front, kind of long because of the new added parts, but whatever. But it's the heads. I had an idea for the head and it didn't go well, and now it just looks bad because there's a hole and then you can see the head on the heart. Oh, it's just that top part. But hey, I don't transform this ever, so like I don't really care. But yeah, he's very, very green. He needs color breakup. Something. I need to paint something on him. He's just so green. And in conclusion, well, I definitely would like to redo this guy in more of a Cybertronian version, just kind of like the others. But, you know, I'm kind of happy with how he's turning out. Although he doesn't really combine with the others, he is still kind of good on his own. And even though the alt mode is terrible, I mean, figuratively speaking, I mean, it looks fine if you just don't look at the peeping head in the back, but oh well, that's just the journey of doing weird little customs that, you know, I do. I didn't make it. He did.